Hello everyone, welcome to SST College of Arts and Commerce and welcome to SST Edupedia. I am Assistant Professor Manmeet Kaur, faculty member of BMS department, will be continuing with the subject of risk management for semester 5. Our today's module is risk governance and assurance. It consists of importance and scope of risk governance, the 3 lines of defense, risk management, corporate governance, risk assurance purpose, challenges of risk and the stakeholders. So what is risk governance? It refers to institutions, rules, conventions, processes and mechanisms by which decision about a risk is taken. So when we are analyzing a particular situation, we come to know about the risk it is giving to us. So when we analyze the risk, we identify the risk, and when we plan to analyze and to get with a solution for that problem, risk governance is kind of a backup support that we can call as. That supports us to make decisions about the risk that are taken, and when the decision or the plan of action is made against the risk, it is implemented and governed, examined by risk governance. It can be both normative and positive because it analyzes and formulates the risk management. So risk governance is what the support system, as I mentioned, it analyzes and formulates the risk and how we can avoid a certain situation. So the risk governance helps us in that. Risk governance and regulation. The core areas of risk governance are advisory. It answers the questions like what can provide us the solution, like provide on-site and off-site, financial or any admin related advice or problem has arisen. So we will ask the risk governance regulation core areas it has covered. Internal capacity, help our clients build internal capacity and enhance the risk management practices. It enhances the process, it smoothens the procedure where risk will not bombard us. Risk management tools, what are the tools? Maximize the value of our clients' data. When clients come up to us, we have to make sure that we are giving our best to our client. We should provide full scope of all the things that they are expecting us, and from that we will provide all the tools and all the solutions to them. Risk management, training and education. Obviously, for the purpose of better functioning, regular basis training and other development sessions are kept for the employees so that there are no hurdles that are faced. Corporate governance is the system by which companies are directed and controlled. Now in here, we control the overall procedure, overall functioning, and we try to govern how the company is working. Board of directors are responsible for the governance. They are the top level management who frames the policies and plans and to whom at the end we report. So they are the main supervisors of the junior and lower levels stages where all the employees work, and they make sure that all the stakeholders and everyone are satisfied by the company. All the objectives and goals are on their process to be achieved. The shareholders' role in governance is to appoint directors. See, directors are the representatives of the shareholders. So they need to be very efficient while they select their representative, and the auditors to satisfy themselves. The appropriate governance is the whole team is appointed by the shareholders, so they have to make a wise decision over there. Corporate governance and make sure that success and economic growth of company is there. It helps in raising the capital. Low capital cost, they make sure that how much it is possible, they make sure that their cost is minimized and their profits and their capitals are raised. Positive impact needs to be there of all the activities. Achievement of goals, objective which they have formed, minimization of the cost, and we have to make sure that our remunerations and all the cycles are on time. Brand formation, we have to make sure that the brand formation is on point. The positioning, the segmentation, everything is on point. Now next we have 3-line of defense module. The very first thing is governing body. As I mentioned, there are governing body which are the representatives of the shareholder. Then comes the management. First line roles, provision of products and services, whatever products and services we are expecting. So we have to make sure the production of it, the availability to the customers or the client should be on point. And managing the risk, whether there is a distribution risk or any other kind of risk, we have to make sure that management tries to minimize that risk. Second line role, expertise, support, monitoring and challenges. As the top level management only frames the policies and plans, the middle level management makes sure that all those plans are understood and then they are properly followed. So first line and second line role is of the same kind, where top level management, the first line was to, the first task was to make sure that all the plans and executions are done properly, and then the second line make sure the expertise, advice, support, monitoring wherever there is some kind of uncertainty, so it is balanced properly. Internal audit, it's the third line role. Independent and objective assurance and advice on all the matters relating to the achievement of goals. All the goals are make sure internally audit whatever the problems are there internally happening in the management are balanced over here. 3-line of defense. The first line, as I said, it is the management that lies with the business and the process owners. Operational management is the responsibility for maintaining the effective internal control of all the things that are required by the management for proper execution of the plans. Then we have second line defense, risk management and compliance. Once all the plans are set, the second thing is we have to do the execution, and while execution we come across many discrepancies and many uncertainties. Maybe there are hurdles or there are some gaps, so we have to make sure those gaps are filled, and the risk management and compliance committee make sure that any time, if for example there is a shortage of monetary assistance, so the risk management is there to give the assistance or advice from where to arrange and how to do the particular task. The third line of defense provides assurance through the senior management and the board. The first and the second line efforts are consistent with expectation. The top level management frames and the other level management follows and executes. So here in the third line we have to report to the first line, the management, where everything is framed, and we have to make sure that all the recommendations and the procedures are followed properly. Next we have risk assurance service. Risk assurance service is generally associated with accounting practices. It is similar to assurance practices where we make sure we are assured of the particular thing. It is a department in a company, is broader and based on accounting, while risk assurance department is subset. It is a part of the risk management department where it assures the following things. Auditors working in risk assurance department have their focus set on auditing, IT and general controls. Whatever things comes under their control, they make sure that all those things are properly followed and executed. Even if any employee or any team doesn't understand the purpose of the plan, they make sure that all the terms of the plan are clear to them so that they can follow it normally and smoothly. Hence, it can be said that risk assurance is the process that includes identification, assessment, management, and then control. Firstly, we have to identify whatever the gap or the hurdle is, then we will try to assess it and we will ultimately work on to achieving the ultimate goal. Identifying the objective, then we have to identify the risk. The primary purpose of the company is to earn or to move their company to higher extents. So the principal objective of the existence of the company needs to be decided. Then we will go on to the risk that we have. We will analyze the key to control the risk, to make sure that everything is under our control. Implication of all control assurance at all levels. We have to make sure that all levels are working smoothly and are reporting to one another as it works as a hierarchical key. Then whatever we have taken the action for, we have to keep on assessing or following up, and at the end we will see that internal audits for risk management is properly executed. Now here we have risk management assurance, how it works. So risk management, it is risk appetite, what kind of risk it comprises, how it controls. Then internal policies are framed like strategies which are connected to people, which are supported by the technology, and it overall comprises of the process that needs to be followed. Then compliances, it has to make sure that all the documents and all the things are up to date and it is reported to the top level management. Strong ethics, efficiency and improved activity. We have to make sure by the time we are getting comfortable with the process, we have to stop making or minimizing the wastage and the cost. Then we have operations managed and supported by GCR, that is governance. So all these things work in a hierarchy. We have to make sure that from the beginning, from identifying the risk to overcoming it, we have to make sure that all these things happen smoothly under a process. Now stakeholders. What are the stakeholders? They are the parties which are related to the company. They can be our shareholders, employees, potential investors, government and general society. 5 types of stakeholders we are having. We have to make sure that their interest is engaged in our company, they are satisfied, they are managed properly, whatever grievances or suggestions they are giving to us, they are properly executed or are properly respected as they are provided to us. And also we have to keep them informed. If we are making any kind of changes or we are improvising our product, so we have to keep them informing. Internal and external stakeholders, as I mentioned. Now the previous slide consisted of how we have to make sure that they are engaged, interested, protected and they are satisfied. Now what kind of stakeholders we have internally? We have employees, managers and owners. They are interested in the growth, remuneration, job security. So we have to make sure that company is providing it. With that, external stakeholders like suppliers, society, government, creditors, shareholders and customers. Customers primarily expect the best quality, the quantity and the price should be reasonable. Distribution of goods, the availability of goods to them should be on point. So risk management, risk assurance and governance at the end make sure that our stakeholders are satisfied and they are engaged and brand loyal to our company. Thank you.